know about me? Big G-L-O-N-A-G-L-E.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Taco Tuesday, and it's another live night for Life with G podcast. You already know what it is. It's your girl G, the Puerto Rican podcast princess, your favorite baby mama in the building, and we have JR per usual.
It's high noon. Hey, what up, people? How you doing? My name is JR. I just want everybody to know that it's love, peace, prosperity. I want everybody to be very blessed on this Tuesday. And all I want to do is give big loves to everybody and shouts out to everybody out there because, of course, I love you, we love you, and you're loved. Even if nobody told you that you weren't today.
Okay, I like that. I don't know what's with the new attitude, but we're going to get into it. And we have a special guest, a certified sexologist in the building. Miss Mckenna, please introduce yourself, my love.
Well, hello. Thank you guys so much for having me. Also, how do I follow up that energy from JR?
Right?
Yes, thank you. Thank you. But yeah, thanks so much for having me, guys. I am a certified sexologist. I'm a tantrika. I work with couples and individuals. From sex to personal energy, it all runs hand in hand. And so we're going to get into it a little bit tonight on that sex side.
I am so excited, and thank you so much for coming on to Life with G podcast. I do want to tap into the viewers. Y'all don't forget to like the episode. I need y'all to like it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already joined the family. What the fuck are you waiting for? Yeah. Hit that subscribe button. All right, Monique, welcome in. He said, G, Robert, what's good? He said, let's go. Shelly, hi, baby. She said she made it. Julie left work early for this. Why? Because we talking about sex, baby. She said, on, here we go. Ramses is present. Thank you, Ramses. Ramses, I'm so sorry. I keep fucking up your name. I'm gonna get it together. DJ Gregory in the building. And he said, I'm here to stir shit up. Well, that sounds interesting. We're gonna be talking about sex. In 2025, I kept wanting to say 2024, but it's a new year, new me, baby. How are we feeling tonight? How are you feeling, Mckenna?
I am feeling good. I'm super excited to be with you guys. I did a little meditation, got my space, and you guys have such hype energy. I love it. It's so hard not to feed off of it. I'm loving it.
Thank you. That's the goal. We just want you to feel comfortable as one big family and just have fun, even though JR definitely killed my mood earlier. Show me your shot glass, JR.
Okay, first of all, G, I want to point something out. I didn't kill your mood.
Yes, you did.
I didn't kill your mood, all right? All I did was bring you back to the reality of love, peace, and tranquility. That's all there is. GC, your energy was like, pop that ass. You know?
What?
That was your energy.
Because there was no popping of the ass.
That was your energy. Pop that ass.
The mental was pop that ass. I will agree.
My energy was keep that ass covered. You know? So that's what I'm saying. It's just all love, peace, and tranquility, girl.
We can't have the Glorilla song as part of my intro and me not have the mentality of pop that ass.
That's also true. But Glow don't pop ass.
She doesn't. But for those of you who have missed it, we have added a new sound. JR, run my sound.
What you know about me? Big G-L-O-N-A-G-L-E.
I love that.
That's one of my favorite things.
Yes, girl, yes.
Oh, God.
Yes. I'm loving the energy. I love that y'all are tapping in. Now with the comment is back, baby. Now, DJ, you want to act like you want love and peace, but you came in here with the shits, DJ. You trying to stir shit up. But let's go ahead and get into it because everybody's really excited to talk about sex. Mckenna, I kind of want to get into you being a certified sexologist. How did you get into that? At what age? Like, did you know that that's what you wanted to do? Tell me all the details, girl.
Yeah, so did I know it was what I wanted to do? No, definitely not. But so originally I'm a licensed massage therapist, so I have been for almost 8 years now. And that really just put me on a path with the body in general. And I think just from there, I got super explorative and I found Tantra, and that led me to just going deeper with that mind, body, spirit connection. And so really more on that certified sexologist side has only been the last 2 years or so, but
Okay.
I've been a tantrika for about 3 years now. So still working in that sex field and so forth, but dove a little bit deeper on like more of that mental side with the Certified
Gotcha.
Sexologist course.
Perfect. I love that. JR, we're talking about sex. Do you have any questions? You got anything you want to add to the conversation?
Sex is disgusting. Yet it's so
Right.
beautiful. Sex is so much, yet it's so simple. Sex, I'm playing though. Look, I'm about to become a poet
I was
because
gonna
I
say, if
really
it's
have
simple,
this.
you're not doing it right. Mhm.
I have this newfound passion for poetry, and I just really want to start a poem about like sex and stuff off of just what she said. And I don't know what you said a tundra. What's you said a tundra?
Tantra.
A tantra. Yeah. What's
Tantra.
a tantra? I'm a guy, so I don't.
What's a tantra? I love it. No, I love that question.
She said I'm a guy. It's not a female term.
What is it? Yeah, I was gonna say it's not what is it, but it's more of a lifestyle and way of being is kind of what I share tantra as. But it's ultimately where you're working with your kundalini energy. So if you've never heard of kundalini before, it's
That shit
your
sounds
life
sexy.
force.
Oh.
And it's
I thought it
also
was
your
coochie.
sex energy.
Okay, so it's a coochie.
Hey. No.
No.
It starts in that area of the energy, and it is feminine energy,
Oh.
but not quite.
Kundalini.
So even though you're a male,
Kundalini.
Kundalini.
Kundalini. Okay.
Yes.
And as a male, I have one.
Yes. So we're all born with our own energy. It's just our life force. And even though you're embodying that male role in this lifetime, you still have that feminine energy within you. And our Kundalini is our Shakti energy. It's our feminine energy. And so it starts in our root, which is kind of where that coochie is for women, if you will, and that Gucci area for men, if you will.
Ooh.
Wait, the butt? Or the
gooch.
the gooch?
It's the gooch. Yeah.
Yeah, like at the base of the spine and is where this energy lies until activated and awoken. And the idea is to move it up the spine, but it really ends up filling and expanding your whole aura field.
So look, I'm gonna say this right here, right? And I'm gonna have to say pause before I say it, right?
You got it.
Real talk, right? I am too young to experience my Kundalini being expanded and energized through my spine. I'm too young for that. I'm just going to be honest with you, right? Those more old heads who allow their Kundalini to get touched. That's just my thought process of it, right?
Fair.
Is it similar to your orgasm?
No, not
Oh,
exactly.
thank God. Okay, then everything I said means bullshit. Cool. I'm just making sure. Because, they say a male's orgasm's in their anus, and I'm not really down with getting my Kundalini touched. So that's why I was hoping it wasn't that. But it's just the energy. I'm with it. As long as it's just the energy, not my butt, I'm cool with it then. Yeah, I'm about that life.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's just the energy, but like on a side note, I totally recommend for most male bodies to just be experimental. And
Excuse me?
we even have a chakra in that area that is like kind of overlooked, but when stimulated can really provide like those more orgasmic full body experiences.
What you mean by that?
Yeah. So like when I say like full body like orgasm experience or
Nah, the male experience needs to have that experience. What you mean by that? G, hold on. No. G, do you understand what's going on here? Because I feel like
I understand. It's just ironic to me
think-
because you know exactly what she's talking about, JR. You just got to lean into it, buddy. There's nothing to be afraid of. Live life. Expand.
you know what? I'm not
That's
against
what
it.
Tantra is all about, is expansion. So literally when you start to break Tantra down, it means to expand or to weave, and Tra means liberation. So Tan means to expand and Tra means liberation. So
Oh,
expanding these new experiences in your life and liberating yourself from new things.
See, I'm not
So all
open
I'm
minded
saying
yet.
is give it a try, and you don't have to invite anyone
Yeah.
into it if you're like, I don't know if you're single or what, but if you're just trying to just keep it all to yourself, like experiment for yourself, and then if you want to bring a partner in, that's what I always say.
Thank you for
Why do I
telling
feel
him to
tried?
experiment
I feel
because
tried.
I feel like men put themselves in a box, especially when it comes to that area. And we are accepting of
Yes.
everyone and every sexuality here at Life with G podcast. But you guys do tend to make certain references that say that, if I do this, and this means I like other men. And that doesn't have to be synonymous. You should explore your body, and you can explore it individually or with a partner who's a female. There's nothing wrong with it. If it feels good, baby, hey, make it do what it do.
I don't know why, but I feel like this
Exactly.
discussion just went on like. See, look, this is what's not gonna happen.
We're
Okay.
gonna check back in and see if your
Yeah.
experimenting has been going good, or at least I will
Oh,
be.
yes,
Oh,
we should do a check in episode. Matter of fact, everybody, all the men, all the ladies in the chat, let this be, motivation. Explore yourself, okay? We are sex positive at Life with G podcast. JR, while you're processing
thank
the
you.
gooch conversation, I do want to get into the comments. All right, Julie said you should add the "Bay I Love You." You might, yeah, I love me some Sexy Red. Y'all know that's my theme song. All right. DJ said Julie, hell yeah. He said coochie. Moni said, "Gee, what's up? What you want to say?" Julie said, "My roots need a touch up." Ooh, girl. Okay then. Robert said, "JR, that's your prostate." Andra, welcome in, baby. She said, "JR, be experimental, sir." Julie said, "We got seven
Yes.
chakras." I think we have more, but we'll get into that maybe. DJ's laughing about it. Andra said, "Lean in, buddy." Right. Just go with the flow. Julie said, "Lean, LOL, more like bend." Oh, no. I mean, maybe. I don't know what position you ain't need to. That's you and your personal journey. Andra said, "Gee, you look amazing." Thank you, baby. She said, "I look good, girl." Monique said, "Try everything once." That's what I'm talking about. DJ said, "I ain't Dora, ain't no exploring." That's crazy. We were just talking about Dora in the pre-live. That is nothing is a coincidence. That's wild.
That is wild.
Exploring.
No,
Yeah.
no, I'm good. I'm good. Right now,
So,
as of right now, because I'm just not open minded yet. Who knows? Maybe I might change in the
well,
future. I'm just
you
not.
also are on a whole other journey, which actually inspired tonight's episode. And JR, I feel like you should tell the people, we should clue them in. It's not just Life with G, it's also Life with G and JR. We're kind of stuck with him now. He's the producer. So why don't you tell our audience about your newfound journey going into 2025?
All right, some people do know about it. And McKenna, I want you to
Okay.
understand this real quick because I really want to tell you about it personally because of your expertise. Now, listen, I wasn't a very good person morally to myself. And what I wanted to do was challenge myself in a deeper level. So what happened is I made a vow of abstinence of sex for 2 years because honestly, I'm not going to lie, 2 years is as best I can get for myself. But I felt like that was a hard challenge for me, right? So, of course, technically it's a celibacy, but it's really an abstinence of sex because it's a time limit, right? So my thing is, and the reason why is because I wanted to see, because these women like to tell me about this intimacy and sex and all this other stuff. I wanted to see if there was more intimacy without sex, if there was a way to actually have intimacy and a connection without actual sexual activities. And I want to know your thought process on a man trying to take that type of journey.
Yeah. So first of all, I just want to say, yeah, congrats, and I commend you. Um, And yeah, just to clarify, what I think I heard is that you've kind of come to terms with some old aspects of yourself that weren't maybe so great to yourself, and you're ready to make a hard discipline the next 2 years to commit to yourself. Does that kind of sound about right?
Exactly. It's for me, yeah, to focus and be a better
Yeah,
person.
I love that. That's beautiful. And I would say that what do I think about you and kind of the male aspect going through this is it's so unknown. Whenever we hear the word celibacy or abstinence or anything along those lines, it's typically from a female, or it's more of that abstinence, and it's more of like personally like drugs, alcohol, different kind of things like along those lines, not sex. So I think it's great. I think that you're able to shine and be a leader because a lot more people need to be going and checking in right now. We're in a very changing culture, and we're continuously leeching onto each other and not really dealing with our own things and going into ourselves just so that we can. It is more of a survival thing. We don't really realize it, but it becomes more detrimental in the end. We're becoming further and further away from our authentic beings and our true selves, not holding space. Like you said, you're making a commitment to yourself.
Exactly.
Oftentimes, we're continuously making commitments to others. We're changing our lives for others.
Amen.
And so, yeah, I think that this is great. You're being a light and you're showing that it's totally possible. We can definitely get into intimacy right now. Intimacy for me is into me, you see. So you don't have to have sex for intimacy at all.
Can
And
you
I can't
repeat that?
remember.
Can you repeat that for
Yeah,
them? I want y'all to pay attention because that was a mic drop. That was a spoken word. That was beautiful. Yeah, please repeat that again.
yeah, no, and this is definitely like quoted from someone in my tantra world. But intimacy is into me, you see. So these conversations that we're having tonight, first of all, they're about sex. So let's get real. This is intimate. This is us being raw and real with each other and vulnerable. And that's really what I feel like intimacy is. When you're being your true, authentic, vulnerable self. And that doesn't mean you need to have sex with that doesn't mean sex in any physical form at all.
Damn.
I love that. Before we get any further, I do want to tap into the comments. Thank you guys for participating. Everybody watching, don't forget to like and share the episode. I love this discussion so far, and y'all definitely need to put your listening ears on. Shelly said, "I did 6 easily. You got this, Jr." Yeah, she was celibate for 6 years. Monique said 6 years. Damn.
Wow.
DJ said, "Proud of you, bro." Julie said, "In the club, we ain't getting laid because we are choosing not to get laid. We can't get laid, but we're choosing not to. And that is empowerment." Scar, what's up? Welcome to an episode of Life with G podcast. Just wrap it up and buy a pro once a month. Oh, okay. That's an option. Andra said, "Love that." DJ said, "She's spitting." She is, isn't she? What's up? Welcome in, Sunshine. She said, "We just talked about that." We did. Andra said, "Into me, you see." They really like that line. Monique said, "I'm going to steal that. LOL. Julie said, "Clock it." DJ said, "Facts." Julie said, "Also in this generation, it's safer to be celibate." Monique said, "I'm going to use that line to get sex." Oh, wow. You're going to use that line to get sex. That's one way to do it. What do you think about Julie's comment that she made about it being safer to be celibate? Because that's something I thought about too.
Yeah, I mean, so for me, what I immediately hear from that response is kind of more what I would probably invite someone to sit and feel into is it safer because you don't have to deal with anything? Or is it safer because you've been hurt in the past? Usually there's a reason why you feel like it's safer. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's not safer. We're actually tribal beings, right? So we're meant to be with people. And that doesn't translate to being sexual with people, procreating and bringing in more humans into the world and so forth. But I would definitely say, yes, by all means, it can be safer. First of all, when you're running around in this day and age, I know from just like dating experience, you can't really trust nobody. So like STDs are also like a physical harm and things like that. You don't know who you're getting with, even though they might put on this great suave personality, they might have a lot of deep down stuff. And when we are sexual and intimate, We're sharing those kundalini energies, and we're also sharing
Mm-hmm.
traumas with each other. We're sharing our baggage with one another. So even when
Mm-hmm.
you guys pull apart, you have that energetic stick.
Yeah.
So by
Ooh.
all means, I understand how it could feel safer, but it really, for me now, I've been like in the last year found a very communicative partner, and it's totally shifted my perspective and mindset. I
Mm.
definitely, when I hear that comment, initially a part of me goes, "Oh yeah, no, I know that girl. You safer. You just be alone." But I realized that it was more of a trauma response, that I wanted to be alone because it was easier. But ultimately, we are tribal beings, and once you find the right people, then you create support. Someone's constantly able to support you or lift you up, and of course, it's not always like that all the time. Sometimes you're gonna
Right.
have to lift them up and things like that. But I definitely would say lean into it and don't give up on the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's really interesting. I feel like when I hear women talk about being celibate, most of the time it is more so coming from a place of like a defense mechanism, kind of like, what Julie's talking about. Whereas when I hear men talking about starting their journey, a lot of them have a story similar to JR. It's about going into themselves. They've researched semen retention benefits and they want to power up or some
Wait,
shit.
whoa, hold up. You never heard
Oh,
of Tantra, but you heard it like you're on semen
yeah.
retention?
Mhm.
What?
Mhm.
Oh no no
Mhm.
no wait
Mhm.
time out
I'm
Exactly.
gonna
There's
put
no
you
semen
on,
retention.
boy.
Hold on. There's no, I don't know what that means. I just
You don't
know.
know it.
No,
You
I don't know what that means. G. Semen
you
retention sounds like
I
blue balls.
semen retention, you just don't get
It's
off.
not blue balls, but we'll get into it. But
Okay,
the
yeah. Well, I just
Yeah.
want
sources
you to know.
told me
I
to
don't know
say
Okay.
that.
that, and I was like, how does he not know?
Right,
No, that's the
right.
mother
So
motherfucker. That's the
that's
mother
kind of
guys.
my so I kind of want to get into that. In your line of work, you have clients. Do you notice a difference between the motivation if you're noticing more of your female clients are motivated by maybe past trauma, whereas the men aren't? Or are you not really seeing that with your actual clientele that there's that much of a difference there?
No, I definitely would say it's kind of hit or miss. I definitely work with a lot more men. I think in the
Okay.
tantra world, you draw the opposite sex. It's a lot about
Mm,
balance. But I would say you're not wrong. Like for the most part, women kind of get into more this side because they've had trauma and they're wanting to get sensual with themselves again. They want to get connected. They want to feel good in their skin again. And for more the male side, I would say that it's kind of just like more that curiosity. A lot of people that I work with like have no idea that it includes meditation or anything like that, and I think it's a lot
mhm.
about just massage and touch. And once we start to get into it, it's very enlightening for them for sure.
Yeah.
But you can tell that the men are just kind of a lot of the times it's like a little bit like definitely 35 and older, and they've kind of heard through the grapevine like about tantra. Or I
Mm.
work with kind of like performance issues is kind of a common one that ends up
Okay.
like people seeking out tantra,
Oh. Okay.
which
I
you
like.
end up starting to chase it back to that's trauma. It's our
Mm,
physical body
mm.
not allowing them, but that's not why they necessarily reached out. They didn't like reach out and be
Right.
like, "Oh, I know I got trauma. I know I'm not feeling good." For the most part, at least.
I really want to get into that really briefly. JR, you look like you have a question. Just hold on to it, buddy. I'm so sorry. Sunshine said, it's been a year for me. Okay, girl. Julie said, safer because these nasty ass hoes be for everybody. Dang, Julie. That is a trauma response, baby. When we out here dealing with hoes,
Hmm.
we a little traumatized. Andra said
Yeah.
soul ties. Shelly says soul ties are real. Absolutely. DJ said, yeah, how do you break soul ties? And how do you keep soul ties from forming? We will get into that in a moment. Shelly said, pray and
Mm.
fasting. Julie said, is it a true lack of sex? Is it true lack of sex causes? Okay, y'all got questions. We'll get into that one next as well. Julia said, Shelly, yes, pray and fast. Shelly said, you make soul ties sometimes unintentionally. And then when you get physical, it's like the hook and it makes it deeper. Okay, so what do you have to say about soul ties and that concept? Because I totally believe in it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, we are all connected, right? And so, like I was just talking about, when we have sex with someone, even though we are disconnecting physically, our energetic gunk, if you will, sometimes sticks to
Ugh,
them and
that
so
sound
back
nasty.
to us. It's just the way it is. Sometimes it's light gunk, sometimes it's not so good gunk,
My
you
shit
know?
heavy.
Being
My shit
honest, you know?
heavy.
It's just not our shit, you know?
Yeah, I feel
Um,
that.
Going through this 2 years, you might realize that you're able to transmute that heaviness. You'll be able to leave that lightness on people, and it'll be a totally different experience when you go back into it, maybe.
But will my tires get
Um,
slashed for that? Like if I leave the lightness on it, will my tires get slashed? Will I get sugar in my
Hopefully
tank?
not.
Hey, if you say
I
hopefully
hope
not,
not.
then I'll take the
I feel like
chance.
that. I don't feel
Some people
like.
are triggered by the lightness too.
Okay,
I do
yeah.
want to say that. That was something I learned walking this path. You meet people and you're like, oh, I'm doing so great now. I'm in touch with my energy. Come here. Da, da, da. And then it's
Mm-hmm.
like way overloading for them.
Yeah. They are
Mm.
you have a I just want to make sure I clarify with you, buddy. Are you trying to say that if you're afraid of dishing out more than D plus D because you think that they're gonna get upset and get too attached and slash your tires? Is that your fear?
So
Oh, get too attached.
see.
Got
So I don't
you.
believe in soul ties. I believe in like a strong emotional connection, right? And I think that sex is such a huge part of intimacy when it comes to that emotional connection for women, because I think it's valued like everywhere, right? I think women know it's valued. I think men value it to a high degree. Sex is very much important. And I think that when a woman has sex with somebody, I think there's an emotional connection. So because I think that way, I do believe that if you perform to a high degree of emotional connection, which is giving her everything she wants, that A plus, B plus, whatever it may be that she's yearning for, I think that it's more than just a sexual act that a lot of men might think is normal, like, we just had sex, but a woman might think like, no, we just connected to a whole nother level, which is why I think it's confused with soul ties, which again, I'm not saying it's not real, I'm just saying I don't believe in it. And that's where I see that like giving out anything more than D plus would be, well, I kind of want to, McKenna, let me break down D plus real quick. D plus that
I
I
love it.
tell men.
I think she gets it.
Well,
I think she'll
well,
pick
G,
up
I
what
want to
you're
break it down
not putting
anyway.
down. Because if you serve a
G,
D plus, you ain't putting shit down. But she's picking up what you're not
oh
putting down.
my
Yeah.
God, you're putting it down.
See,
It's just not putting it down.
And I do. I'm
I
sorry.
agree with you. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I do agree with you in the sense of like women sometimes have a different emotional connection, so we get tied a little bit different. But I don't disagree with soul ties. I do believe in kind of like reincarnation. I've connected with past lives. This soul in this body um, long lives this vessel. It'll
Mm.
outlive this vessel. So there's people that I've had sex with this in this lifetime that we've bonded, we've connected in another lifetime without a
Mm.
doubt. But I've had to do a lot of cord cutting so that I was able to move forward from those relationships in this lifetime because they no longer serve me.
I could agree with that. I can agree with that. But I'm saying you wouldn't have thought that way
Mm.
if he was delivering D plus. That's all I'm saying. If these guys was
That's
only delivering D
not.
plus, I don't think it would have been that much of a like of a real. I'm
Your
just
D
saying.
plus could be her A plus though. Could
God
be her
damn it,
best
you
sex she's
damn
ever
right,
had.
McKenna. You so
McKenna,
right.
I've been.
You
You
are.
know what? In this,
Nah,
JR,
G, give
give
her
me
her
a
props.
second.
I
I
love
need to
her.
have a. I want to have a one-on-one conversation, woman to woman, with McKenna. I love you. I respect everything that you do. So because you agreed with him, now I have to agree with him. But that has been an ongoing argument. That D plus, there's no way D plus is cutting it. He's like, no, I promise you, if she likes me enough, it will. And I'm like, no, ladies, I want better for you. But you're more well versed in this subject than I am. So hey, maybe that's true. Your D plus could be somebody else's A plus. Damn.
It's unfortunate, but I mean,
Very
just like
unfortunate.
JR hasn't been that curious with much of all of his body, it's like a lot of women are so against getting curious with themselves.
Jesus.
So
Really?
they absolutely, that's so taboo
Okay.
still, even this day and age for some reason. And if it is, it's definitely like a lot of quickies. Like it's not ever making love to yourself. Like women, it's a quick pleasure and get out, you know? It's not true love making sessions with the self where you get to have that intimacy moments without a partner and so forth. And yeah, so it's just like a little bit different, I guess, in that sense. With the
Yeah.
male versus female, for
see,
sure.
McKenna, you don't understand what you did. You don't understand what you did. See, because you're making it calm, but I'm not going to let G go past this shit, all right? That's been my take since forever. And you said it so goddamn flawlessly. I love it. I've always said men give women D+. Reason why is because if she actually likes you, the emotional connection, then that D+ won't be D. It would be A+ because she actually likes you. You know what I'm saying? That connection is more important than just the act of sex. For a
But
woman.
you also could just be the best she's ever had. So.
Thank
And
you.
don't
I
mean
was
it
about
like
to
that,
say.
like performance-wise, like you just might have digged her down the best she ever had.
Okay, let me explain D+ real quick. 5 minutes, 2 positions. That's all. That's D+.
Oh my God.
5 minutes, 2 positions. That's it. Now I know you're thinking. Look. You see how you put your head down now, McKenna?
That's not. But what is the lead up game to that? That's okay for you, but like, what are you doing for her before then? Because it takes women at least around 20 minutes of stimulation before we're ready for true orgasm.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, though. The foreplay is, but that's not the act of sex, though. The foreplay is the I like you part. You see what I'm saying? Which you have to be chivalrous, a gentleman. You have to show her and make her feel comfortable. You have to make sure that you've shown aspects of leadership and provision, and that you're going to be able to secure her if it comes to a level of commitment. Like you have to be able to do those things that really, again, elevates her mind.
I'm just curious though, what are you physically doing for her before you penetrate her?
Thank you.
It's
cut right through the bullshit.
It's the
what are you physically doing?
Well, I don't eat coochie, so if I'm not eating coochie, it ain't that.
What?
McKenna, don't you look at me like that, McKenna.
I ain't even gotta say shit. McKenna gonna do the talking for me. Go ahead,
McKenna.
Why? Let's just start with why. And I get to have attitude with you because I'm not in like my mode, but I'm in my mode. So like, why?
All right, look, McKenna.
What are your reasons?
Okay, this is. Oh God, you're not gonna like it. You're not gonna like it. I already know you're not gonna like it, but it's okay.
Absolutely not.
This is basura. Go ahead.
Okay, what is basura?
Trash.
Oh, okay. Well, let's go with the basura. Let me tell you, McKenna. This is a male thing to me. For these other men, I promote extreme masculinity. I promote it. I promote men being extreme leaders. I promote men being extreme providers. I promote men protecting women to an extreme level. I promote men being men. Of course, I do believe women have to earn it. Now, again, the oral sex when it comes to eating vagina or pleasuring the vagina with mouth, I believe that for men, it's a little feminine. It's a little demasculating to do that as a man. That's just what I believe. It's a little demasculating.
I'm so curious what friends you grew up with that you would gossip around girls and they would be like, oh, you ate her coochie, and would demonize you, because I never heard that.
Yeah, if any of my friends are with me,
shocked by that.
Yeah, I'm that friend though. I'm the one.
I agreed.
If they are like, yeah, bro, I just ate her coot, I'm be like, bro, you ate her coot? What are you, the girl? What are you, a wife?
Your thought process isn't like, oh, I can hype her up and I can pleasure this woman. I can take her to a new dimension sometimes, just being so intimate and eating out a coochie.
I believe it's only for benefits. I believe it's a benefit that only your wife should have. That's me though. I believe your wife should only be the one to have that benefit. But that's why though. But I understand, G. I'm just saying that's my thing. I believe that's a wife benefit. You
understand, but
are you dating to marry?
Of course. I would. Well, I don't believe in like on paper marriage, but I want to date for long-term commitment with one person. Yes.
See,
So
Can
she's
I?
your wife once you start dating. Like, you have
Yes.
that mentality, right?
Yes. When she earned the relationship, she pretty much earned that
Yeah.
slot of my potential wife. And if she shows consistency, then yes, I will reward her with that title as my significant other, wife, and long-term commitment.
I just want
Oh,
to
you go,
say
G.
because this is why this pisses me off. You said something earlier, and I'm a hold you to it. You said that you feel that men value sex, and while I do believe that anyone, male or female, can value sex, is capable of valuing sex. The rhetoric that you be spitting, even on Live with G podcast, as much as I hate it, is that sex is more transactional. I feel like when you look at something so intimate as sex, as transactional, especially when it's just a one-way transaction, not both ways, not mutual beneficial transactions, at that point you cannot value it because you are not treating it to its highest potential. There's just no way. And when you're talking about sleeping with these girls and giving D plus, it's because you don't see them as a wife. You're not eating her coochie because you don't see her as a potential wife. You are treating it transactionally. So those are two different conversations.
I want to hop in there. So I agree. I agree with both ends. So our energy is also transactional. So what we leave behind and what we get, transactional in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Um, one of the oldest like jobs in the book is prostitution, and they give their energy, and they in return they
That's
get
true.
money. It is a transaction.
That's true.
Even when we take the money out, it's still a transaction energetically.
That
Sometimes
is true.
like one partner carries more than the other during those times. But I will say that, yeah, if you're choosing to have D plus sex, then you're choosing to have a downgraded intimate relationship. That is your choice going into it because you're putting that mentality out there immediately. And I'm curious, like, do you like getting your dick sucked?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a must. Most definitely, it's a must.
Okay, so it's a two-way street.
No, so this
It's
is
not like,
Thank
McKenna.
you.
So let me tell you this too, though, right? And I really want your thought on it. And I already know I know what it's gonna be like, but hey, people in the comments, make sure y'all like the video and please
Yes,
don't
please
drag me
like
too
it.
hard.
Run it up.
Women, don't drag me too hard. Now look, McKenna,
Drag
this
them.
is what is it, bosuto? Like, okay, look, let me say this,
Basura.
basuda, que sucio. All right, look.
so.
So look, McKenna, this is my thing, right? Oh God, I don't know. Oh, Jesus, sex is not. I believe that sex is really only for men because we're the only one that creates life when we orgasm. I really truly believe sex is really only important for men. You know what I'm saying? I really want your thought on
This is
that.
why you say that you create life because we carry the egg, so I'm not so sure. And I do believe that it does take both parts.
Of
I do
course.
want to say, though, that women are going to run this world, though, and soon science is going to X you guys out if we want. So, and there's
Ooh,
semen banks
possible.
everywhere. Okay, just saying.
But right now, y'all are just a microwave. You know what I'm saying? Like we're the actual in the most respectful.
Tranquilo. Hey, you
God
can't say
damn it.
disrespectful shit and say it
I-
in the most
I-
respectful way.
God damn it.
Microwave is crazy.
If you had to
So
say
you
that
gonna
line, you
eat
know
cold
it's
pizza?
disrespectful.
So you gonna eat cold pizza? You
I'm
gonna
not
eat
gonna say
frozen food?
faithful. No.
We can't
The
eat
egg.
frozen food.
Yeah,
I'm
me
not
tell you-
saying y'all not important. I'm just saying we create the life. Y'all just carry it for a long time.
So, I want to say that we create those orgasms for you, though. How many women are walking around and have never experienced an orgasm, but we give them to men all the time?
Which is
You
why I
guys are
say
talking
it's
about
more.
semen.
You see why I say it's more
Exactly, all
important.
the time.
So a lot of women understand why it's more important for men to have it too, right?
I know you did
No, I
not.
No.
wouldn't
I
say
know.
that it's
Look,
more important because if us as females, if you're using us as energetic channels and we're not choosing to have sex on our own and like touch and please ourselves and find and discover ourselves, then you're just entering a dead channel. So it's not beneficial for you either. There's no way that like without us you would have that continuous life force. And like I said at the beginning of this podcast, our kundalini, when you start to break it down, is a feminine energy in our root chakra. So you come from feminine energy.
Most definitely.
There's like, and yeah, I mean, everything, like, what, the sun is male energy, but the ocean, the moon, a lot of like, we worship way more goddesses than we do gods,
Mother Nature.
at least in like a lot of, yeah, exactly. Mother Earth, you know, like what we're
True.
on. I definitely don't believe that we are creation. We are what created. I do believe, like, I don't know, like higher power and things like that, that has feminine energy. That's what created this.
And I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. Maybe I might actually look at it differently
I
when it comes to
kind of get
women.
like
Though I do
where
understand what
you're
you're saying.
coming from in a sense, but it's definitely in that masculine where you're like, I want to get served, which makes sense. As women, we are here to serve, but you guys are here to create the place so that we can serve you.
Yeah,
You guys create the
we create the
protection.
life, and y'all serve the life we created.
No, you create the house, and we put life in it.
And I do believe. Okay, so I see what you're saying. And but again, like I said, it
But
takes
see,
two
and
to tango.
that's the thing.
It do.
Absolutely, I agree with that too.
I'm not gonna lie to you, McKenna. You are so professional, girl. Cause Jr., you pissing me off. You got one more time to say some misogynistic ass shit. You pissing me off. But
my
also
God.
that's your truth. You know that's your
I
truth. And
work with
unfortunately,
misogyny all the time in society, and like specifically when working with women, misogyny of women on women. Like we have been now
ooh,
trained by men that were like, oh, look at that skirt she's wearing. Oh, I don't like her lipstick. And we have to immediately be putting our other parts down because men have put us up side to side and compared us. So we immediately feel like we need to attack.
oh my gosh.
But don't you think that's how it's supposed to be though? I'm gonna
Hell
ask.
no.
Well, I'm not.
Renaissance
Okay.
sisterhood. That
I
shit
told you had
changed.
one more
That's true.
time. You had one more time
I'm not
to
saying.
piss me off.
Look, G, I'm not trying to say it in a way of malice. I'm just saying it in a way of the way us men think about it, right? We look at it as competition no matter where we go. If we want a woman, we already know that if she's beautiful, she's smart, she has her life together, like, you know what I'm saying, like she's peaceful, she knows she checks the boxes, then we know that we're going to be competing with other men for it. We already know that regardless if she has nobody in her life, we know we're going to be competing because of value. She's valuable. And I think it's the same way when it comes to men and women, is that women knows this guy is checks the boxes. He's this tall, he's this professional, he's much of a leader, he's much of a provider, he's very respectful, he has good status. And I think women too understand that they're going to compete. I just don't think women have been brought up to compete. Women were brought up with jump rope and dolls and stuff that are not competition, as men are brought up in
What
sports.
the fuck?
Again, not misogyny. I'm just saying.
2025. Are we gonna act like female sports just started happening 10 years ago? What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm not saying it like that,
The
G.
fuck?
I'm not saying it like that. I'm just
Right,
saying
saying
us. If you put
No, that's
men together,
exactly how you
we're
said it.
competing.
That's exactly how you said it.
If you put two boys in a room, they're gonna be like, race me, who's faster. That's what I'm trying to say, McKenna. It's a different perspective. I'm just saying, us men were very much used to competition. Women, they're really not used to always like wanting to compete. Women don't, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying I see it that the way you're saying it from a standpoint of, well, yeah, of course it's a male looking at women to compare them because women aren't used to having to compare themselves to somebody else early. That's all I'm saying.
I agree and disagree, like in a sense where we were built on sisterhood and brotherhood. Like I said, we're tribal people. Like we were meant to help each other build. So even in like, yeah, brotherhood and sisterhood, we've moved into this modern era and things like that. And a lot of things have shifted. Like about 7,000, 8,000 years ago, things shifted into this masculine domination and it became very competition. It became where we had to divide land. It wasn't like we get to have it together. It was not that feminine energy of share and be and receive together. It has now become very strict and dynamic and completely separate, like separation, really. So I think I understand where you're coming from because you live in this day and age, but that's not what's normal. And I do believe that we are in an changing era we are working towards that feminine back again, but it's definitely gonna probably take a few thousand years to even have that shift. Like at least a few hundred for sure. Like you definitely seem pretty stood in your ground and your opinions, and it's like you seem to kind of be able to listen, but there's so many people this lifetime that don't listen still. There's
Of
not
course.
people that are willing to open up the ear yet.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think a lot of people are actually selfish when it comes to it. Even men, like specifically, honestly. I think they have this weird fixation on if they actually have to protect a woman, then it's actually deemed as like demasculating in a way. You know what I'm saying? I actually do believe that right now. That like serving your woman is important, but it's not serving your woman as in putting her on a pedestal. It's serving your woman as in you're supposed to be that protector that she's looking for, that provider that she's looking for. You're supposed to be checking the boxes off that you're like in my mind that are not societal norms, but more traditional in a way that allows her to perform at her best. And that's kind of what I look at too. So I understand where you're coming from in that way, that in a lot of years it may change possibly if men can get their shit together in that way, in that aspect.
Well, I do want to pause the conversation really bit. This conversation is so good, y'all. I apologize for not tapping into the comments. However, we do have this handy dandy feature, which means every single one of y'all's comments is getting highlighted as we are going through the live. So you are being highlighted. I'm so sorry if I missed you, but I got to get to Robert's comment. Robert said, "Oh, JR, your toxic masculinity never ceases to amaze me." Robert and JR have like arch nemesis vibes, but Robert's also our like top viewer. So
And
shout
I
out
love him.
Robert.
I love
Love it,
Robert.
Robert. He's on our side, ladies. Julie said some men can't even make a female orgasm because y'all finish super fast. Then we gotta grab the little buzz to finish. I mean, sometimes the
That's
buzz is
very
doing a way
common
better
too.
job. Yeah. Sunshine said, "What the fuck is JR talking about? Sex is important to men, but not women." Andra said, "We actually create the life, sir." Robert said, "Goddess worship religions predate patriarchal and pantheon religions by a significant amount of time." That's true. Julie said, "No, in this generation, most women can protect, provide, and especially nurture. We are natural nurturers." I think we can do a lot of things. Andra said, "Women are in constant competition every day against each other as women against men in an age where we have to compete for jobs despite being more qualified often." Yep, and that is a whole other topic that we could get into, and we might in an upcoming episode. Sunshine said, "We should never have to compete with other women, but some men think it's cute to have women competing for them." Oh shit. Julie said, "Being a girl's girl is rare." Damn. Andra said, "Sunshine, you are so right. Unfortunately, the sad reality is that we do." And Julie, very, very true. And the ladies are feeling this conversation. I think you hit a button, JR. We feel away.
And I don't apologize for hitting that button, by the way, just
Of
to let
course you
everybody know.
don't.
But I'm just saying,
That's
though,
one of the few buttons he knows how to hit. When you're issuing D plus, I doubt
look,
you're hitting.
I'm
it.
I
not,
love that.
I'm not
I thought it
saying.
was a good one. What
I
happened?
just don't want them
I'm
to think
curious
I'm.
on how you feel about orgasm.
Oh, no, I think it's extremely important. I think, but I
But
don't.
how do you feel about it?
Well, if you're talking about me, I love it. If you're talking about do I want my woman to have it, if she's my woman, she earned the position of my woman, then yes, I do believe that I am obligated to make sure she feels amazing, stressless, and feels good all the time. If she's earned the position of my woman.
But when you're in orgasm, your body is receiving. Your
Sure.
body is receiving
Yeah.
your energy. You are in your feminine energy.
Whoa, time out.
When
Wait a
you are
minute.
in orgasm, you are in your feminine energy.
Wait, so I know my legs,
Because
twitch,
your
but I
body
ain't
is
feminine.
receiving.
Wait.
You're not penetrating yourself anymore. You're just in a receiving state from yourself. You're able to just
Ooh.
receive yourself.
Holy shit.
Which that's feminine energy when you're in your receiving.
Holy
I love
shit.
her. Y'all, listen, let me tell you something.
Bruh.
Y'all need make sure you like and share this episode. I want to have Mckenna back already. Yeah, tell him. JR, you're receiving. Yeah.
Whoa,
You're
time
in
out.
You
your feminine.
received.
Okay, you know
I
what?
think what I'm hearing
I like that.
is that you're maybe this is just like what I'm reading. Obviously, I know you for a very short time, just picking up on things, but you're looking to embody your masculine in a feminine way. You're ready to connect with yourself again and receive yourself again so that you can be that proper provider and know what you bring to the table and be that table or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So what I think you're going through is a feminine journey, is towards a feminine like state. And I'm just saying that because everything that we're hearing from you is so masculine, and you can't live in just one embodied state or the other. You have to have a balance. And that's kind of like what Tantra is about. Even when you're not working with Kundalini with another's energy,
that
we talk
word.
about that energy. We talk about that energy rising being the feminine energy, but when you're working with energy, your Kundalini energy in yourself, you have your masculine in your head. And the idea is to kind of bring them at union into the heart center. So if you're just constantly living up here is maybe what I'm thinking I'm hearing recently, and you're kind of ready to feel deeper into your body and yourself. So you're ready to dive into that feminine portion of yourself. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I think
true.
I'm picking up on.
That's true.
I do want to tap in. The ladies are loving McKenna. I love her too. I'm glad y'all like her too. Andra said, in your feminine bag, get that shit, JR. Julie said, yes, get her back, please. Andra said, yes, McKenna should absolutely come back. She is great. I love it.
I
Is
adore
she
you
putting you
guys.
in a
Thank you. I'm having so much fun.
good? That's what it's all about. I do want to get into a little bit of the title. I love the way the conversation is going, and we could talk for many episodes about sex. But tonight, based off of JR's journey, I did want to dive a little bit more into that celibacy idea. In your line of work, are you noticing an uptick recently in people embracing celibacy, or do you think that people still are more so wanting to have sex?
I would say it's definitely a hard call in my field. There's definitely some that are just looking to go deeper inside themselves. I give them a lot of homework that's literally self-pleasure in different ways and being
Okay.
curious with themselves, kind of. Just like that homework that JR has, and we're gonna check back in.
I'm not doing it.
Yes.
I'm not doing it.
Explore yourself, JR, and let Life with You podcast fam know. And y'all will know if you subscribe. When we do our check-in, you'll get a little notification. And I'm excited. JR, you should be excited. You have homework, buddy.
I'll think about it. But nothing. No, we'll talk
I
after
love
because
it.
I got some restrictions.
talk after.
I got some restrictions. All right, but
Oh my
the other
goodness.
stuff, I'm
Curious?
with it.
I'm curious, JR, on like what your celibacy journey looks like. So like working with clients, I do work with that tantra side. So it is a lot about falling back in love with yourself, working with that sexual energy within yourself. Are you like completely sustaining from any sexual notion at all? Are you only having sex with yourself? What are kind of your boundaries?
So I've never. So no, I'm not gonna say never, but I don't. Which I'm looking for. I don't masturbate. Right, and I haven't done it since maybe like 2015. Like I'm be honest, I just don't masturbate. Right, and that's again, I mean, I don't have a problem with people doing it or whatever. I just never had a need to or want to do it at all. But one thing about me, I felt like I was so into the hunt, the game. I fell in love with the hunt is what it really was. And I felt like it was morally wrong because what I was doing wasn't in my actual level of intent of knowing how important women are. So my thing was I was more just into the hunt, into getting women and into taking them to brunch, which is code for ghosting them to a certain extent, right? And G really talked to me about it, and we had deep conversations about it, even on the podcast, where it's like, yo, like, what about you though? Like, you're doing this, you don't care how it affects them, cool, but how's this affecting you? Are you focused on you? Are you really doing for you? And that's when I really realized, like, damn, she's low-key right. I stopped going to the gym as much because I'm out here on the hunt. You know what I'm saying? I stopped really focusing on career path, making more money doing my thing because I'm focused on the hunt, because the hunt is so much fun. And then it made me realize maybe I'm addicted to the fun, the hunt. You know what I'm saying? It's pleasurable, it's cool. And that's when I really had to look back and go into myself and say, you know what I need to do is see if I stop all this, which I could see it instead of just, oh, it's normal. I can see it as more like an addiction and say, if I stop it, how will I feel? You know what I'm saying? How would I work? And that's kind of where I went now into bet. I see it differently. I'm moving differently. I work on myself differently. And I don't mean work on myself as in I have to just sit here and just take breathing techniques or do yoga, which I haven't done yet because I'm not that flexible. And I understand what you would say. It takes time. You got to keep going, be consistent. But
actually, I got yoga for you that you don't need to be flexible for. So
okay, then we definitely gonna talk about this after because I'm gonna need some of the moves. But again, it's just a little different on how I looked at it. Is like, yo, let me clear my space up and let me really focus on the better I am. Of course, women, to be a part of that, it will be special. And I'm still dating. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm still talking to women. I'm not into it for the hunt, though. So it's not like I'm talking to 5 girls at once or 8 girls at once, as I usually do. Now it's like I'm actually talking to probably like 2, and I'm not actually just trying to smash. I'm trying to actually get to know them. So it's been a little, it's been a struggle for one. It's been a struggle because I'm so used to one thing. But to be honest, I think I feel kind of satisfied in how I'm doing it. And, but I feel more of a distaste for women, though. That's the problem right there. I have a distaste for women because if it's not sex, then it's like, damn, what are you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of women, I don't know. It's like they lead with sex. I'm not going to say a lot of women, but the women that I'm attracting, they lead with sex. So it's kind of difficult for me to get past that part without like being like, yo, you're disqualified.
I'm glad that you said that, like the women you are attracting, because that definitely is like a large portion to do with it. But before I even get into that, like I just want to commend you. Like I think it's a great journey anyways, but to kind of hear that you were an addict of the game, and I'm saying that in like a very personable way. I definitely a hormonal high. I was all about the chase. I wanted to be taken out sometimes. I knew I would get complimented, so I would go out places and I would go meet people because I knew I could. And I definitely like I just want to commend you for even like stopping that cycle, and thinking about it is huge, but now you're taking action. And so this 2-year journey is going to just like be a continuous expansive journey that you're going to learn about yourself and like what really drove you during that process. Like why were you trying to go after those women? And I like that you touched on like the women that you're attracting now are in alignment with that person that you have been. It sounds like there's a whole new aspect of you being born right now. And it's not to say that that other aspect is just like gone and dead. It just means that you have to learn how to work with that older part and intermix your new part. And that's learning. That's a lot of learning. And so that might feel scary. It might feel like a lot of just like chaoticness in your body, or just like a lot of discomfort even. So yeah, no, totally. Like I highly recommend the breath techniques. Breath is part of yoga. So like technically you're already doing yoga if you're doing that. So don't beat yourself up about it. It's not all about being flexible. Yeah, I teach Kundalini yoga, so I'm definitely going to send you like some classes over and hopefully help you get in touch with that energy. And when we're igniting that energy within us, we're getting these downloads. So it sounds like to me you're not having even like personal self-love sex, which is totally cool. That's fine. 2015, that's a long time. That's a great journey in itself. But what I would say is it really means being intimate in other ways with yourself. So discovering new parts of yourself, learning how to integrate those parts, learning what this new being of yourself being born, like, what is this guy like? Since he isn't gonna go chase women, like what does he actually like to do? You know? What instead of
True.
distracting himself, what is it that he actually likes to do, and then focus on that and really be able to sit with that. And like again, it's not about leaving that person that loved the game in the past. It's maybe about channeling that aspect of yourself in a new way. Chasing like you just mentioned, you kind of got away from business. Maybe chasing that business high again, like get it up and going and get that momentum there again.
So I do have a question from the comments, and then I have another follow-up question for you, McKenna. So they are in the chat asking if you can explain the difference between abstinence and celibacy.
Yes. So abstinence, like I said, it can be from anything. It doesn't have to just be from
Mm.
sex. Hell, I work with like a lot of porn addiction things.
Okay.
So abstinence from using porn, but that doesn't mean from self-love even and like making love with
Hmm.
themselves. So it just means like staying away from whatever that choice of category is that you're susceptible to, where celibacy is kind of more about devotion to yourself with no sex.
Mm.
Oftentimes it was looked at as like more of a religious thing, but it's not necessarily just a religious thing.
Okay.
Like he's making that commitment, which is in a sense a spiritual journey with yourself again.
Hmm. So I'm curious, when you have clients who come to you and say they're on their journey or they want to explore that journey, when it comes to having a dating life and abstaining from sex, that can lead to a whole lot of things. For your clients, do you recommend them maybe slowing down on their dating life while they're exploring that aspect, or do you think it's okay for them to still go out and date?
I know what you did there.
What?
I think everyone's different, right? So I always tell people to kind of check in and kind of like we talked about earlier, like I I was also addicted to people. It wasn't just like about getting the
Mm,
compliments. Like I was addicted to people. Like I fed off of energy.
it's the company.
I would,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely. Like I didn't realize that I didn't want to be alone. Like I thought, oh, I can be
Mm,
alone all the time. I don't care. But I didn't realize that, like, no, I was calling my friends every night because I didn't want to be alone. And I was addicted to not being alone, to just being around someone.
damn.
And so,
Damn.
yeah, it just, how am I gonna it just is a personal journey to each and every person.
Mm,
Like, I ask that they kind of tap in and see if, like, if you're really yearning to just like go be around someone, is that why you're reaching out to go on this date? Is that why you're getting on this dating app? Is that why you're reaching out to whoever?
mm,
Or are you doing it because you want to explore yourself with other people? The world
right.
is our mirror, and that includes other people. And so I think dating's a healthy thing. I think even when you're going through your own journey, you can kind of when you're out with someone like, "Oh, this part of them, I realize I have that in me and I need to work on that because I don't like that."
Mhm.
Or like, "Oh, wow, this has been really great. Like this person is this way," and realize it's inspiration of like I want to embody that aspect in my life more. But it definitely can get sticky when someone like me, it's like it was a trauma response. I don't really want
Mhm.
to sit with myself. I'd rather just like it was better to go out and date. So it just kind of
I
depends and varies the person and where they are in their personal journey.
I love that you said that. That's something that I never really like thought about. But if I think back on my personal experience, especially after my separation, I like going from like cohabitating to then not. I think that I definitely was like just I was addicted to having the company of others for sure. Wow.
That can be really hard too. Like when you first come out of a relationship, like
Hmm.
it's super healthy. Get yourself around people, especially the people you haven't seen in a
Yeah.
while. You know, oftentimes
Hmm.
relationships, you just stop seeing a lot of people.
Hmm.
But there definitely gets a certain point where you're like, okay, I'm only leaning on them and I'm not doing my inner work. I'm
Yes.
not sitting with myself. I'm just trying to
Yes.
escape with them.
Yes, it was literally, and I remember recognizing the moment where I'm like, I can't even like sit still with my own thoughts because if I let my own thoughts break through, then I'm gonna get emotional. I'm gonna break down. So I would just stay busy. Hey girl, what you doing? I'm trying to go out. Or hey, like, or the dating apps. And that's exactly why I got on the dating apps, because that's just such a quick fix when you want some attention. Damn.
You became in your masculine, like you didn't want to receive and sit with your emotion. Like it's so
Mm,
common when super busy women, and I am like that myself. So it's like there's
yeah.
sometimes that it's like I have to really look in the mirror and be like, am I gonna sit with myself and just relax right now? Like, am
Mm,
I just being in my masculine because I need to set up structure so that I can keep going, rather than just sitting with my feelings and emotions and kind of working through them and then being able to keep going.
yeah.
Damn.
That's
See, I
that's
agree. Women just love attention. I agree.
what
Wait, is that not what
what?
we? That's
How
not
do
the
you
conclusion.
take it there?
That's
I
not the
feel like
conclusion.
men love attention just as much,
I
if
was gonna
not
say, I think
more.
that comment shows that men love
Yeah.
attention.
Wait, that
Yeah, because
wasn't.
you just had to steal the mic right then. You just had to go for a shock factor.
Holy shit! So we
To
wasn't
do
agreeing.
JR.
So we wasn't
Huh?
agreeing.
No, JR.
No, we
We
wasn't
weren't.
agreeing.
I do want to get into some common issues that people who do still want to be active dating but are choosing to abstain from sex. One thing that I noticed when I really um because it's not that I move fast with that portion, like to take it to that step, but I remember being in a headspace where I absolutely was like, I don't know when that would happen, and I'm just not doing it. It don't matter who you are, how much I like you, I'm gonna reserve that for me. So when I was in that headspace, what I encountered was a lot of people viewing it more as like a challenge, like, oh yeah, she said that, but I could get her to change her mind. And I'm curious what you have, what your thoughts are on dealing with that. How do you suggest people deal with people testing their boundary?
Yeah, so what I would say is in the moment to deal with that, I guess it just like depends on how they are approaching it.
Mhm.
But just being like upfront and clear and honest, that is the best approach to it. And if they choose to kind of what I'll say is write you off of like "Psh, wait till later," it's they've crossed your boundaries at that point. It's
Mhm.
something that you just have to realize like, is this person something that I want to keep around? And what I would say is like look in the mirror and your ego-driven self that was in the driver's seat, that was maybe like in JR's perspective on the hunt in the game, in that ego state,
Type shit.
is that ego attracting those people? Or is you enter your heart, or is your heart starting to attract those people? People that
Mm.
are just willing to discross your boundaries, it's they're ego driven, just like you were. You're in a
Yeah.
transition state.
No, she's. I agree. Honestly, I shit. When you put it, when you said it like me, I felt that. Honestly, I think that you attract. y-
Some people
What's the
are
way it's
gonna
to be?
just be like jokesters, you know? I
Mhm.
think
Mhm. Mhm.
I definitely have people that'll just be jokesters, but that's
Yes.
when you really sit in your dominant self and you make eye contact and you just say, I want to make it clear this is not a joke, this is a journey I'm on. And it's like how they react after that. By
Well,
all means,
Mhm.
like for
exactly.
sure, I know a bunch of people that are gonna kind of like make a funny joke, but you set the tone. You create the
Mhm.
space.
Yeah,
You create that conversation.
and I tell people all the time, you attract who you are despite who you think you are, and that's the exact truth. Is what you're saying is that you might think that you're on this journey, but you might not have made it yet. You might not have got there yet. Even when it comes to men and understanding like where their priorities lie when it comes to like their masculinity being there for a woman, or even when it comes to women and understanding their boundaries, you're still going to attract who you are despite who you think you are. So you got to do better for yourself and do more for yourself, and then you will attract those type of people who also want to do better for you when it comes to both parties. Gee, you look
When
like
you're
you
in
disagree.
transition, though, no, I was just gonna say when
Mhm.
you're in transition, though, I mean, this is kind of, I work with inner aspects,
Okay.
so different parts of ourselves. When
Mhm.
you're in that transition state, like you're, you have those parts that are still so scared to let go. They don't know what this newness is like. So that energy is still within you. You're not gonna like purify yourself of it. And this aspect is always gonna live within you. So it's like really about going down to the core of like what that aspect
Mhm.
needs. And oftentimes it's just a new job. Like really sometimes they're just trying to protect us and they're trying to do right by us, these different parts, but they're old. They were designed and came about in this lifetime to be beneficial, but as you change as a person, they're not beneficial. And so
Mm.
these new inner aspects need to kind of embody and take over, but those old ones don't disappear. It's about learning how to integrate them and learn like what else they need to do for you. Like sometimes, like, yeah, it's really common that a protector is like maybe wanting you to kind of reach out back to that same person or whatever because that feels normal. But reaching out to
Mm,
someone new, it gives all different types of alarms in your body. It ignites
yeah.
your nervous system because it doesn't know the outcome of what might happen with this new person.
I agree.
So it's yeah, so it's really about integrating both. And when you're in the transition stage, it's super hard. It's like you're like, oh, this person aligns with me. And then they start talking, and you're like, no, never
No.
mind. That was an
Yeah.
old me. Like,
Just kidding.
yeah, you just start
Hmm.
to realize. But I think in transition, it's hard. You still have that energy within you. So the universe is like, sometimes you're thinking you want this, and then now you want this. So I don't know. I'm going to give
Hmm.
you a little bit of both, maybe, but definitely what you
Hmm.
are, you know.
Right.
It just kind of takes time.
Yeah. So, JR, I'm curious. In your journey so far, I feel like you're still interacting with women here and there, maybe. Allegedly. So when you express to these women, alleged women, that you are going through this journey, do you feel like they think you're full of shit? Or I'm not gonna lie to you. When he told me, y'all know his rhetoric, send the nudes, D plus, and I'm gonna take it to brunch. I thought he was fucking with me. And then he was like, no, I'm serious. And I was like, oh shit, like congrats. So do you feel like women take you serious and then it when you get them to understand, do they respect your no?
Okay. So yes, to answer your question is yes, but the
Okay.
again, I swear I don't want to sound misogynist and Sunshine. I swear I'm not trying to take too long because I see what you said. Look,
Yeah, we have a call in. I'm so
I know
excited.
I'm not
I
trying to take
did
too long.
we do have moderators, so be sure to whenever you guys do want to call in, let us know what question you're going to be asking in the Discord as well, because we are moderating the call-ins as well now.
So my thing, G, and I swear to God, it's not against the women. I truly believe it's the women that I attract. It's not against just women. But my thing is that these women don't know me yet. You understand? They really don't know me. So they don't know whether or not I'm joking or not joking or playing or whatever it may be. The thing with me is that I truly believe a lot of these women don't have much to offer because they have not worked on themselves in a way that I would prefer them to work on themselves. So they don't have much to offer other than sex. So to keep me around in this state where I'm not actively pursuing sex is extremely difficult for a lot of the women that I'm attracting. And it's like they don't understand the bring me peace. They don't understand the make my life easier. They don't understand the genuine connection of like real conversation that doesn't have to just do with flirting or sex. They don't understand a lot of these things. They just know talk to a guy, they're going to want you, take the attention, and it's difficult because of that. But it's not because like they're just bad people. They just don't. They might not know themselves yet, and that's just a problem that I have to have when going through this journey. And it's going to take time. I can't tell them who they are. They have to figure that out on their own. So yeah, that's pretty much how that's going to go until I might meet a woman that might do it. But the masses, no, the mass of women I talk to, no. Sadly, they just don't know
I
themselves enough.
agree. I absolutely agree with that. The way that that woman responds is an immediate reflection within herself. If she
Mm,
laughs you off, it's because she thinks she can't do it herself. She's not willing to look inside herself for that long or take that journey
mm,
herself. But I definitely would say that yeah, like you definitely can't tell anyone who they are, but they might be going through their own journey and kind of having like their bad day. So I would
mhm,
say like don't just like discredit and like yeah, you're coming in with that D plus energy and you're always saying like, oh, no woman's gonna provide that. Like you have no idea the woman that you might just meet and is that woman, but you're already counting that out, it feels like.
mm.
That's just like
I
from what
get
I think
it.
I'm hearing. I would just say like just be more open to it. I mean, it could be anyone, but by all means, you're gonna see that by the way she responds to those conversations. And that's super common in the dating area right now. Like, how do you be intimate with someone without having sex? A lot of people don't even know that intimacy is a thing outside the bedroom. That's a lot of what I
Exactly.
educate people on.
And I don't have a problem with teaching it to a certain degree. I don't have a problem with it, but it's like you're gonna have to get on my program when it comes to it because I've made this decision. And I think that's a lot to ask for someone who has not had an investment within a relationship built. So it's kind of difficult. Because even I talked to G about this yesterday. I'm talking to a woman, and we're just talking and getting to know each other. And out of the blue, she asked me a very vulgar sexual question. Out of the blue, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, like, and
Whoa there.
you know what I'm saying? But G, it wasn't warranted. It wasn't nothing. But it's how, again, I understand the game of women. I mean, men are very easy. If I'm being honest, we're easy. If it comes to sex, it's easy. So she put that out there, but she doesn't know I'm on this journey. So it's kind of one of those times that's like, it's a big turnoff to me because it's like, yo, like it's not her fault. She doesn't know. I didn't disqualify her, but it's like that's what you got. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much deep conversation, deep understanding that we can go.
That question
That's
right
what you
there,
got.
that's what you got. You're leveling up.
Yep.
Yes, boy. You're leveling up.
Yes.
You're knowing
Yes.
what your standards are and what you want. You're telling the universe right now that you ain't about it. And the universe is hearing that, and it's going to deliver better. It's going to deliver what you want, what you're more in alignment with.
Tight shit. You know what I'm saying? I feel that. You know what I'm saying? Give me my with it. See, women, I respect y'all. I respect the fuck out of y'all.
lie
I'm
to
curious,
you.
how old are you, JR?
I identify as 22.
He's 49 years old.
I identify as 22.
I saw his license when he came down to Jacksonville to visit you guys. We did vlog some. I need to post some of that. And he's actually 49 and he has 10 children.
I identify as 22.
Okay. It doesn't really matter, but what I'm going to say is that, like, either 22 or 49 are terrible ages to date. Around 49, typically most women have been married and now they're in their trauma response trying to get back into it. And it's extremely hard. So they are putting out because they want someone to be around. And at age 22, you don't know yourself. Like, let's just get real. Like, that's when I found Tantra. And when I first found Tantra, I thought, like, oh, I was knowing myself. And 3 years later, I'm like, oh my God, I don't even recognize that girl. Like, it definitely, I would say, like, those are kind of just terrible ages to date. But don't give up. There are people just like you in both sexes. There's also men, if you want brothers, that are on this similar journey too.
Okay, whoa, McKenna. I appreciate you specifying. I know, I appreciate you specifying because it came off a little. You know, like, I'm just gonna. Look,
I do. Now I'm curious because
similar conversation with someone. It's nice to be like.
Yeah. I'm cool with brotherhood.
With us right now, we're giving you a feminine perspective. It could be a totally different conversation with a male. Yeah.
As long as we make sure we say brotherhood, you know what I'm saying? Because you feel me?
All right, enough with the bro stuff. So you were talking about ages and like good ages to date. It's not all about JR. I'm in my 30s. So what is your viewpoint on dating in your 30s?
I would say it's better, personally. Like, from my experience, at least with clients, like, usually when clients are coming to me, they think that they have like the worst dating life ever and things like that. But it's like, usually at the age of 30, nowadays, people are typically discovering themselves in a lot more different ways. People are also establishing themselves. So it tends to be like a lot different of an experience. There's a lot of people that haven't been married and are dating. There are some that are like in their 30s and have just got married. And so it is like just that more freshness instead of a lot more trauma response. But that's kind of for an overall. Of course, like, that definitely doesn't mean each individual story around those ages are going to be even close to that.
Yeah.
You don't think it's old? You don't think like 30 old?
No.
Like, oh, okay.
I think that's prime time. I think that we're in a day and age, like, at least like my parents and things like, and my grandparents, they had kids really young, and now we're seeing that like people are getting married in their 30s and having kids closer to 40 and stuff, and it's becoming the new normal rather than what it had been in the previous generations.
Okay, I'm with it. I'm not against it.
Do we still have Sunshine waiting to call in?
No, 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 no,
We do
no.
not. We lost Sunshine. That's okay. Sunshine, come back, baby. If you catch us before we give the outros and all that stuff, I do want to tap in to the comments really quickly. Andra said, "You also have to know that you have come across women on their journey that you are not aligned with, but you reflected the things you haven't dealt with." That's true. Ramses said, "Your journey is personal. You can't fault her for choosing that to be hers. 49 is past due for a prostate exam, JR." Andra said,
No, for
"Well,"
sure.
right? Andra said, "Well, I'm 41 dating and it's basura." There's that word again. Synchronicities. Things keep repeating here. Okay, Ramses said, "Andra, I would have sworn you were 30."
Well,
Yeah.
is that how you spell it?
What do you mean?
Basura. Is that how you spell it?
Basura, yes. Basura.
She spelled it right?
Basura. Why? JR.
Let me find out she got some Hispanic in her. Okay, Andra.
Wait.
All
You don't
right.
have to, okay.
I mean, not that it's not, I'm on a journey. Okay? I'm on a journey of
You're on a
enlightenment.
journey.
I'm on a journey of higher power.
See, that's why people don't take you serious, because you say it like that, like a little smart ass.
Well, they cannot take me serious all they want. They gonna find out regardless. All right.
My hope for you, JR, my hope for you is that you get everything that you are hoping to get and more from this celibacy journey. And I hope that you see that transform the way that you interact with women on the other side of it. I'm really excited to see what happens, and I'm proud of you.
I'm curious on how you're reaching out and connecting in intimate ways with these women since you're still dating.
Well, it's a good thing we got Sunshine in the chat. Wait.
Oh, blue is covered. Go ahead, Sunshine
Whoa.
girl. La biblioteca. That's library.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's get Sunshine in here real quick. Let's see.
Not
Sunshine.
by insertion.
Woo.
Sunshine.
Hi. I actually
Hi.
have a question for McKenna. My situation is a little bit different because I've been married for 23 years. This this past December, 23 years. And a couple years ago, I was involved in an explosion and I suffered a traumatic brain injury. And so over time, I just started being disinterested in sex. Like, I just don't, my brain doesn't tell me, like, oh, you need to have sex because you're stressed or anything like that. The hard part is, like, my husband understands that I've had this accident. He understands that I'm not interested in sex, but yet he will still sometimes get a little upset, that I'm not having sex with him. And he then takes it as like a slight to him, like it's him. He's the reason why I don't want to have sex and stuff like that. I don't know how to explain to him other than keep telling him like it's not about you. It has nothing to do with you. It wouldn't matter who I was with. And I'm just like, sometimes I would give sex just to like appease him.
Mm.
But I don't feel like doing that anymore. I don't feel like I should have to do that anymore because it doesn't make me feel good when I do that, you know. And I know it
Absolutely.
doesn't make him feel good either.
That's a really
Absolutely.
good question.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing, Sunshine. Yeah, just like your honest and vulnerability. And first of all, congratulations.
Mhm.
23 years is a feat for sure. That is
Yes.
not small at all, especially in this society. And I'm
Mm.
sorry for just kind of that trauma and it just kind of continuing to bring up stuff. There's kind of a few different approaches, is that what I kind of recommend in these kind of situations. Definitely he's just not in his own like journey to kind of understand that it's not him. And it's not all the time, right? You said sometimes he's understanding, but like sometimes he still has these emotion
Yeah.
reactions, which is
Mhm.
totally normal. Again,
Mhm.
sometimes he's in that dominant aspect that kind of knows and understands, and then maybe just another like aspect that's also wanting to be seen, maybe a younger aspect
Mm.
within him. And what I would say is we are all, like we talked earlier, sex is super important for both sexes.
Mhm.
What I would say is it comes to his own responsibility for his own pleasure, though. We are all responsible for our own pleasure, and you aren't obligated to do anything. And I I have even as a female just like, okay, I'm here to appease you and then I don't have to hear it. But unfortunately, what I would say is he has to learn to sit with that uncomfortability. And as hard as it is for you, you have to learn to be okay with him being uncomfortable
Yeah,
because it has, yeah, go ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna say, like, I've gotten to the point where I'm so comfortable not having sex that I've like told my friends and stuff. Even me and G have talked about this. That
Yeah.
I've wanted to be like, why don't you find a girlfriend? Like, why don't you find someone that you can have sex with and,
Yeah,
for those
that's kind of
urges,
Yeah, that's kind
like,
of what I was gonna say is like that's what I start to kind of it's not necessarily like it looks different for every relationship.
mhm.
You say girlfriend, sometimes it's just like a sex
uh,
surrogate, someone
yeah,
who
that
is literally a professional for this, and then they leave and they don't have that emotional connection. I have a few
mhm,
couples that have kind of that, and these women are in their more explorative journey. If you're not ready to explore yourself again, that's fine. But like I said, he's
Mm.
responsible for his pleasure, but you guys are responsible as a couple to come to what are your guys' boundaries? What is this gonna look like for you guys? Because of course, yeah, it is important for us all to be experiencing release and sex and that kind of intimacy physically.
mhm,
We often think of just like basic needs being food, shelter, and water, but basic needs are emotional needs now, as well as physical, sexual needs. And
mhm,
so what I would say is it comes down to having a hard conversation of what would this look like for us so that we are both happy, so that we are both winning. And that does mean maybe bringing someone in, and what does that capacity look like with that relationship for them? What are
Mhm.
you comfortable with that? And
I'm
I
comfortable
will
with that.
say,
Because
yeah.
I married my husband when I was young. I was just 20, and I hadn't really had much sexual experience. So with him, I was ready to explore everything. So we've done all kinds of stuff. Threesome, I mean, like, that's not even like, it would not bother me one bit if he had somebody that he could call up and be like, hey, I'm just coming through for a little bit. And then, they do what they do. It doesn't bother me because I know I'm not providing what technically I should be providing, if that makes sense.
No, absolutely. I think that you have it right on the nails. Like, I'm curious, have you had like tried to break in this conversation with him?
So I have, and he's like, well, but you don't want to be involved. And I'm like, it's not about me. I don't want to have sex. So it doesn't bother me, one bit. But now, do I want you out here every night, ripping and running the streets? No, absolutely not. But if you can find one person that can just help you with that, then I feel like it would make
Absolutely.
me happier and him happier.
Absolutely. I think it's just kind of maybe about bringing up that conversation again and just being open and honest and telling him, like, I'm in this place where it's even maybe hard emotionally to hold that space for him because he is kind of, I don't want to say like giving you an attack sometimes, but kind of just not really having that sentiment and that sincerity still sometimes. And so it doesn't feel like a lot of grace. And yeah, like, even though, like you said, you don't want to be involved, yeah, it is a lot of communication and learning, like, what are your boundaries and what is your level of involvement? Okay, they might have this experience, but where does it end for them? Does it end at that experience where he enters there and then leaves and that's it? Is it where he's able to, like, continuously talk? It's also something that you might jump into this journey and you realize, oh no, I'm not actually able to do that. And you start putting in different boundaries. And it is just a communicative journey with you guys. And it's definitely not going to be an easy thing, and something that you probably will have to go back and forth in. And I even have some couples that are like, I don't know, I don't hear, I don't know, and it's no problem. And that works for them. They don't need to hear about anything, and they thrive. Yeah, just like you're talking about, it makes the male and the female happier, and then they end up thriving. It's really just like about having that serious conversation, and if he's not really taking it well, it's about just kind of continuously easing into it. He might not just be as ready as you are to kind of let go of that idea of like having to do that and not having you there as that partner.
Well, I'm doing, I do a lot of mental health work and stuff like that because, of course, I want to get back to the person that I was before the injury.
Absolutely.
But it's taking, the injury was worse than what they thought. And so there's just like, I could sit down and have a conversation with him, but he will take it. I don't know what it is, but I mean, he's in his 50s, and it feels like each year he just gets more and more and more sensitive. So every time I try to have this conversation with him, he thinks he's the one doing something wrong. And I keep expressing to him that you are not doing anything. You had no control over the explosion. You had no control over me being hurt. I don't even have control over, what happened.
Yeah. So what I think I'm hearing is that he's in a response communication. So he's not listening to listen to you. What I would say is what I kind of tell couples, like, when they're having these hard conversations, start with, hey, can you be neutral right now? Can you not side with yourself or side with me, and just listen as if you were a stranger or a friend? And just explain to him again where you are right now and how it makes you feel and how sex in general makes you feel. And typically, of course, like, sometimes it isn't the first time, but when you were looking in a more neutral state and looking to, a lot of communication is actually learning to active listen instead of being in active response. And so asking him to be in a neutral state and do like some active listening with you will hopefully start to kind of open that other perspective. And it might not be taken well right away. It might, again, this might all be like a trauma response from him. He's like, I want to be desired and I want to be seen. And so oftentimes I work with that in couples and individuals even. And it comes from not having that attention as a child that they needed. And so they want that from their partner now. And so maybe him just feeling like, because you're looking for someone else to kind of take that space, he feels kind of a little bit of abandonment and like just a little bit of dis-ease and distrust. And that just comes from, like, again, that personal trauma from his own experiences. And it's not something that you can control, but just something that you can also be like kind of sympathetic on. It is really hard when you both have trauma responses to kind of the opposite things, and you have to work with that. And a lot of it is learning to actively listen and taking yourself out of your shoes as well as theirs. A lot of times as a partner, we're like, I see what you're doing. I know this and that, and kind of pointing the finger as if you're in their shoes, but
Right.
really learning how to even pull yourself out of their shoes as well.
I think
Facts.
those are some really great points and good tips, McKenna. So, Sunshine, thank you for calling in. That was a great question, great discussion that you started. We so appreciate you. We are running a little bit out of time, and and if you did enjoy that session, because I feel like that was a mini therapy session right there, you guys can check out McKenna at her website. It is listed in the description. She does consults. McKenna, can you tell the people how they can find you and what services that you offer?
Yes, absolutely. So you guys can find me on Instagram. I'm also beginning to start to upload to YouTube, and I have my own personal website. So as far as kind of that YouTube goes, it'll be like where JR is going to want to look for that Kundalini exercises and all that different not super stretchy yoga, as well as some of the stretchy yoga. I'll be posting that on YouTube, and then on my Instagram, I kind of have been making it like daily, like simple tips and tricks to connect with yourself and your body and really begin to come back home to yourself. So definitely give myself a follow and then kind of follow along with those tips and tricks. Like today, I shared about hugging yourself in 4 different ways to kind
Hmm.
of self soothe. So, and then, yeah, feel free to reach out to my website. I do a lot of different things. So I'm over in Georgia and I'm a licensed massage therapist, but I'm also certified sexologist, somatic practitioner, Reiki practitioner, sound healer. So I do anything from like personal sound journeys and Reiki sessions and tantric journeys to yeah going even deeper on just like a more personal level and doing kind of soul retrieval, looking to understand yourself and come back home to yourself and really understand who you are and embodying this energy within yourself in kind of the correct ways. Oftentimes,
Yeah.
we're using other people and activating this energy, and then we're becoming a magnet for all those ego things and things we don't really want. So, I work with
Yeah.
lots of different types of things in a lot of different ways. So, definitely, if you don't reach out to my website, definitely follow my YouTube and my Instagram because I'm sharing a
Yes.
lot of really great information.
So look,
I love
G, I
that.
gotta say
Uh-huh.
this. I gotta say
What
this.
happened? What?
McKenna, I looked at one of your. Okay, I wasn't gonna say this because it was embarrassing for me, but I looked at
What
one of your
happened?
yoga things, and okay, look, disclaimer, it was on like plus speed. Okay, I didn't realize it until I was doing it. So I said, let me do what this is just to try this out because I want to talk to her about it.
Body had it sped up.
But I didn't realize it was on plus speed.
Oh
So
shit.
I'm over there just like I'm doing but
So
I'm moving as
stupid. Oh
fast as
my
her. And I
god.
was like,
Talking
this
about
ain't
my like somatic moves, and I'm like dancing all crazy and shaking.
That
yeah.
is so
So I was
funny.
doing and I was like,
This
oh, it's sped up. I need to slow it down.
this is
So
why I
that
be
shit fucked
telling
me
you
up.
you need to slow down. You need to like savor the moment. Just like take it off the fast forward. Like chill out.
Hey,
Okay,
first of
chill
all,
out.
Fast
I
I
don't know
didn't
what you
speed it
always in
up.
a
now is
rush for.
becoming present.
She sped it up.
Yes,
I sped it up.
exactly.
I sped it up, but
There
that's
we go.
really good. Like, good to know that people are immediately thinking about doing it and then doing it. So, thank
Yeah,
you for
I love
that. I won't be
I
doing
love
that
that.
again. Maybe
No,
redoing
no,
that
do it.
again and changing
It
it.
was my fault. It wasn't your fault because you gave it all out.
But
I
other people
just,
are gonna like have that perspective too. So it's good to hear for
well,
you.
that's also their
Oh
fault.
my
You know what I'm
goodness.
saying? Because I'm telling. And what do you think about my sound bowl? What do you think about my sound
Oh
bowl?
I
my
was just
gosh.
What do
gonna
you,
say, yes,
what do you,
I love
tight
You
it.
shit,
guys,
tight
he be
shit.
playing this soundboard on his
Is that
TikTok. We don't
is
know
that
who
the
he
C
is. He has
note?
all these different personalities.
Did you say a C note?
Is that the C note?
See, why you
Like
do
your
me
root
like
chakra?
that? Why you now you ask me questions
You
Okay,
I
have
know
it
I
and you
don't
don't
know.
know
got
shit
it.
about
I
it.
don't know
You
shit
have
about
it
it.
and
Got
you don't know
Goddamn.
shit about it because you
God
half-ass shit.
damn.
That's what you do,
People
JR.
go out there and get a sound
No,
bowl. If you don't, make sure somebody gives you a sound bath.
It is
It's
super
beautiful.
yes.
calming.
Or hit me
It is
up.
super
Or
calming.
check out my YouTube. I'm gonna upload a
Yeah.
couple of sound baths because
Please.
Yes. I love
breath, sound,
those.
and movement. Like that's the key to life. That's the key to connecting
Yes.
with the Kundalini. So that's really what I share.
Honestly,
I love
y'all,
that.
it's
And
so
JR,
soothing.
hush, because I have a long lost friend. I could cry right now. J Mag, what's up? He said this isn't relevant to the conversation, But I just want to, gosh, guys, this is my best friend in high school. I'm not gonna cry. Damn it, James. This is my best friend. How you doing? I really appreciate your support. Damn it. Can you take the camera off? No, because it's live with you. Play my theme song so I can get hype again. Real bitches don't cry.
Yes, they do. They feel that shit. They own that shit because you're a heart-centered bitch.
There you
You
go.
guys, I've been working real hard on this podcast. So thank you for the support.
Girl, if you don't cry right now, I'm playing. That's beautiful, though.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Girl, you're
is
looking
beautiful.
like a goddess, and this podcast
Thank you.
has been great. You are so fun.
Thank you. Oh,
loving
yeah, you're
it.
still
You're killing it right
here.
now.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you, James. I appreciate you. The support, man, I fuck with all y'all. This is why I say if anybody tells you that you can't, yes, the fuck you can. And you're still my best friend. Aw.
Oh,
Damn it. Shit.
Okay.
gay. I'm sorry. My bad.
Well,
I'm sorry.
stop ignoring my messages on Facebook, James, and message me back on Facebook. I'll shoot you a message. We'll catch up like old times. Oh shit, y'all.
Okay, hold on.
Look, I can't.
Get it together.
What?
Get it
I'm getting
together.
it together. I'm getting it together. I was about to go back into it. You got to be patient with me.
If
Shit.
you sniffle one more goddamn time. No, play that shit.
What you know about me? BGLONGLE.
Yeah. All right, there you go.
It's the big D, not the little one. Oh shit. Oh gosh, I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation with you. I love your vibes. It was so educational and it was so eye-opening. It was very therapeutic. So I love what you bring to the table. I know our people definitely want to have you back. We do something called Final Thoughts. So Mckenna, I do just want to offer you the space to leave our audience with any lasting thoughts after this episode.
Most definitely.
Yeah, I would just say that, like, go explore yourself tonight. Like, get curious. Our skin is the biggest organ on the body. So if you want to become intimate with yourself, touch yourself not sexually. Just try it once. Make yourself feel good. It'll release a ton of oxytocin and all the good feel-good hormones. So just get curious with your body. I highly recommend that. And just follow me for more tricks. I make it super accessible for anywhere you are and in any state you're in. Fight, flight, freeze, thriving, whatever it may be.
I love that. I love that. JR, I really don't want to pass you the mic. I don't want to do it, but I have to because it's only fair. So what are your lasting thoughts, buddy?
It's high noon.
Look, people, I'm going to say this because I appreciated this conversation. I learned a lot. And a lot of people might not take in exactly what was said, but there's so much more deep thought into this, though, right? Even the conversation with her and Sunshine, which I really appreciate because it really shows they didn't get to say it exactly, but they did talk about it. But if you're not a deep thinker, then you don't understand that thought of rejection too, right? And it comes in different ways too. And all these things you need to figure out when it comes to like knowing who you are as a person. And I felt like this conversation really lets you look at like, hey, building yourself up isn't always just for you. It's not a selfish act. It's also for that other person that you're sharing a life with. And I do believe that was really the most important part of this entire conversation was the better you are, the better y'all will be. So I really do appreciate you coming on and really sharing that with me because I was going on this journey with that thought process and you really confirmed it for me. And I'm going to continue on this journey, of course, but I do want other people to also take a journey. It doesn't have to be exactly what I'm doing, celibacy, but at the end of the day, just understand your priorities as a person and understand that you're going to face different type of hurdles that is not impossible to get over. You know, somebody once told me, stop complaining about all the stuff that's on your plate when the entire objective is to eat. So make sure that you really go out there and you get it and you get to it because I'm telling you, a lot of people don't care about themselves. You're the only one who live with yourself. Nobody else is going to be in their shoes and understand you. You're the only one who understands yourself. There are no bunk beds in a casket. Make sure you take care of yourself. So then anybody who's inside of your life and your space, they'll understand that it's valued. So I just want to tell everybody I love you on a Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? And much appreciation. And I love y'all. G, I appreciate you, girl.
All right. I appreciate you too, JR. I do. Listen, this has been a great episode. I appreciate all of you guys for tapping in. Don't forget to tap in with Mckenna. My lasting thoughts, I feel like they took the words right out of my mouth. It's really important to be self-aware. Self-love is important. And I think we learned a lot of good things in this episode. And I just want y'all to be happy. I pray that love finds you for yourself and in the relationships that you have on a daily basis. And that's really all I gotta say. And if anybody tells you that you can't touch yourself tonight, yes the fuck you can and yes the fuck you should. Besos and blessings. Y'all have a good night.